apparently Disney is trying to do damage control for the horrible sequel trilogy. Now, I am en route, so please forgive the sort of lack of decor. But Disney, we knew you shat the bed from the first movie. So the fact that you're saying aggressive release dates and short timetables, why would you put out something quickly that sucks? Because even if you had a long time, this story was garbage. Rey suddenly just becoming, for no reason whatsoever, the most powerful Jedi ever, being, oh, the Jedi, makes no sense. And her being a dyad, well, first of all, she's the granddaughter of Palpatine. So I guess that explains why she's powerful. But why would that make her more powerful than Kylo Ren, who has a pedigree in the Force? His grandfather has the highest midichlorian count on record, even more than Master Yoda, who was the Grand Master of the Jedi Order. Why would he be more powerful than him? Why? So, when the Force is out of balance, the light, yeah, shut up. It's a stupid story and it sucks. But now you've decided to bring back Bob Iger, the visionless mass who lied to George Lucas saying he's going to use his treatments on the stories. And this is the equivalent of a doctor telling a cancer survivor, you'll never believe what we found. That's not what a cancer survivor wants to hear or see. So, and the people that say, well, I like the sequel trilogy better than the prequels and better than the classic trilogies, it shows me that you don't know anything. Because according to George Lucas, it's supposed to be 3 episodes, okay? Now, George Lucas had a treatment for 7, 8, and 9. It had nothing to do with Luke, Han, and Leia, because he said their story was over, their struggle was done. So they're supposed to introduce new characters, I think named Sam and Kira. Now, of course, we classic trilogy fans, we who appreciate the golden era of literature, which occurred roughly between Return of the Jedi and The Phantom Menace, before they established the prequels and the clones emanating on Camino and all the other stuff. We like the books that came out around that time because they're better than the prequels. I'm sorry, but they are. The stories are better. We don't want to hear about Sam and Kira, George. We want to hear about Jason and Jaina, the twins of Han and Leia. We don't want to hear about Han Solo going back to being a smuggler for no intelligent reason. Princess Leia not being the princess of the New Republic or the Chancellor, whatever you want to call it, because she was the only one qualified. You don't want to hear about Luke Skywalker being a recluse because somebody's feelings got hurt. That's dumb. Disney, that's a terrible story. And I've started calling Disney ditzy. Because whoever was responsible for those stories must have got hit in the head with a bell and then got hit in the head with the hammer that rings the bell. Because no brain signals were getting to them. All right? So the people say, well, 7, 8, and 9 are my movies. Okay. If something starts off to you at 7, 8, and 9, shouldn't you find out what 1 through 6 were? And I'll be honest, there's a lack of continuity between the prequels and the originals too, and that's George Lucas's fault. Come on. How could Luke ask Leia, do you remember your mother, your real mother? And she says just a little bit. She died when I was very young. What do you remember? Just images, really. Feelings. Tell me. She was very beautiful, kind, but sad. Horrible lack of continuity because the woman died as soon as she gave birth to Leia. So if anything, Luke has more of a connection than Leia. Terrible continuity. And the continuity between the prequels and the classics are so bad that they went back to give special editions of the classics to more adequately reflect the prequels. Dumb. And that's on George Lucas, all right? But they're still way better than the sequels because nobody tried with the sequels. One thing I will give George Lucas a pass for a lot of discontinued material. And maybe I'll do a video about what I give him a pass about. But the sequels, Disney, we already knew they sucked. Before you came out with this article years after the fact, it's so bad that Lucasfilm is in peril now. Peril. They don't know where to start. They don't know what ideas to plant to get Star Wars fans back to the theaters. They're talking about, fan service. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. It comes from a lack of ownership A lack of innovation, a lack of storytelling, and a lack of creativity. The sequels do nothing for the story. Nothing for the lore of Star Wars. So when I see people trying to be political and like, yeah, I'm going to see the plot holes in the sequel trilogy get them. You can't fill the plot holes because there's no plot. There's nothing to fill. If anything, the sequels should be something filling like a cavity or an abscess because they're horrible. Now, I'm just being vehement about it because of how bad it is, but I don't hate them, but they're bad. They're not good. So that was just a quick little, this is my piece, you know what I mean? This is me talking about the article. And then they hire Bob Iger back. Disney, get a clue.